Basil, how are you doing, sir?
Very well, Alex. How are you, man?
Good, man, good. We've got a good film today, this week. It's called A Fantastic Woman. It's a Chilean film from 2017, I believe. And it's basically about a transgender woman that has to go through, well, her boyfriend, her much older boyfriend dies while he's with her, and then she has to go through the prejudices of society afterwards. This happening in Santiago in Chile. It's played by a real life transgender woman. It's a very good film, very compassionate film, I thought. And I saw it on Prime. You saw it on Netflix or Prime? Same thing, Prime Video, right?
I saw it on YouTube. I bought it off YouTube.
Really? Okay. So
yeah, it's the first film I've ever bought.
Available
Yeah.
on YouTube too. Yeah.
Yeah.
A Fantastic Woman. It's in Spanish. What did you thought of it, sir?
I thought it was actually quite, as you say, the word compassionate is used. I thought it was quite an interesting film straight from the get-go, because you know something's up, because the main lady in the film is dating, a man twice her age. So already you're thinking, what's going on here? And then you later find out that after he's deceased, that the family of the man aren't very happy with this situation, because I think he's got to the age of his late 50s. He's realised that he wants to find new love in his life, and he's found love in this trans woman, which is quite an interesting subject, to be honest.
Yeah, he's obviously, yeah, he's got an ex-wife and a child, also a girl, from a previous marriage. But
and his
I
son
found
as
it
well.
I found it. I mean, the camera is the whole film is from her point of view, and it's almost like it's following, the camera is following her all the time. Like 90% of the film is around her, with her. Very well acted. You can feel on her face. You can see how much she's suffering, but she's also a very fighty woman. She doesn't give up. I mean, the thing that she has to endure immediately after she takes him to the hospital and he dies, she automatically knows that she's going to have to endure all the prejudices of society around her, from the police to the investigators,
like the shame, man.
Doctors. And
it's,
even though she knows that,
shame.
she tries to run, but she says, okay, no, I have to. She knows it's like a walk of, like a purging walk. Like she in order to continue with her life, she has to go through all this stuff, the rejection of her family, and their insecurity, all of that stuff. And it's such a compassionate film, because she follows this, and it's almost like a documentary. You can see that this is actually happening in the world, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, I think what was
very
depicted...
well put, very well shown, very well depicted.
Yeah. What was depicted, though, is that we're seeing an extreme hatred of a trans woman. And it's just quite an interesting subject anyway, obviously, trans people in general, despite what you may think about it. But I feel like why I enjoyed the film is because whether this person was trans or not, it didn't matter to me, because it was like they were a minority person, so they could have quite easily been black, they could have quite easily been gay, you know what I mean, they could have quite easily just been a young person, and the family of the deceased man didn't like that person. So I don't really think it even mattered that they were trans. That was just the thing they thrown in to make it unusual. But I think if you just look at the film as this could have been anyone who was slightly different, really, and they were being nullified because of that, and that's why I was kind of content to watch it.
And also, I think she actually says at one point, one of the characters asks her, "What are you?" And she just says, "I'm a person." And it's bang on, like you said. She literally is like, "Why is it any different?" But the film in itself, I mean, this is the Oscar winner for best foreign language
in 2017.
Film in 2017. Well deserved, actually. And I remember I was rooting for a different film, but this was definitely, I mean, the way it starts like a very voyeuristic and very well happy looking film, and as she goes through the things that she has to go through, these horrible things and the abuse from everybody else in the film, the way the film starts to looks more and more grim.
Yeah, it goes darker in
until
colours. It's not red
goes darker in
lighting.
colours. So
Yeah.
everything, there's a lot of symbolism in it. Her name is Marina, which relates to the freedom of the sea and their dream vacation that they want to go to. The main characters, and yeah, it was really good. What about let's go to the question of seeing it at the cinema if cinemas were open. Is that something you would?
I watched the trailer. I watched the trailer before the film because we didn't really quite know what to review, did we, this week? And we came up with this, and I watched the trailer. I think I would go and see this. I would go and see this because it's just a subject that is quite relevant at the moment. I guess you say trans people. So any film that's got a trans person in, and it's kind of about that. As I said, you can put a gay person in this role, and you can put a black person in this role. It would work as well. But because it's a trans person, I would say yes. I probably would go and watch it because it's just
definitely
interesting.
rewatchable. Also, what about the spoiler heavy question? If you have a scene that's stuck with you, for everybody who wants to see it, just pausing
for me,
what's your favorite scene or the scene that sums up? I think.
Yeah. There's a scene towards the end when she doesn't get invited to the funeral, but she still goes anyway, which just kind of says a lot about her character.
Yes.
And she keeps having illusions of her ex-lover that he's still alive and just kind of waiting in the distance for her. And one particular scene at the end when she actually follows this illusion, she goes into this kind of like tunnel underneath the funeral parlour with him, and then he just turns around at one point. Yeah, that's one you mentioned earlier. He turns around at one point and he just comes towards her and then he just kisses her out of the blue, and it's like for a second there you're thinking this illusion's just become real, and like you can see it means a lot to the main character because they break down a little bit. It's quite sad because you're almost convinced by it as well, even though you're not in her shoes. You're convinced. I liked that scene very much, man. I thought that was really good.
I like the scene. I like the scene when she gets kidnapped in the car by what was the guy? The brother. The son
of the older gentleman. Yeah.
And they capture her, these bullies or these, I don't know what you call them.
Just family members, right?
Family members, whatever. Yeah. But they're so abusive, so they're like scum on the earth, to be honest.
They are disgusting.
They wrap in the back of the car. They wrap her face with sellotape.
Sellotape, yeah, that was a very strange thing to do.
It's completely strange because they are trying to change the way she is. That's how conflicted they are looking at her, and that's how.
And when she breaks free from them after that scene, and she looks at herself in a mirror of a car, wasn't it? It's like a windshield of a car, and it looks almost like she's just had loads of surgery.
Exactly,
and her face is all messed up.
Their reaction is to do that to them. Is like they can't cope. They're not free. Their mind is not free enough to just accept it. And they're like trying to change it externally, and then it's just that it makes them look so bad by doing that, which I just found that brilliant. But
that's like the human nature of you just can't accept change to that degree.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So that was good. That's good actually, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie, that was a good scene. I didn't think of it like that, but
So really good film. Fantastic Woman is called. I watched it on Prime. You watched it on YouTube. And then we'll talk next week, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Take
See
care,
you later,
Alex.
sir. Have a good one. Bye.
Nice one.